All right, inside your code, whether you are in an article, you're in a side tag, a section tag, we can create lists. And there's a number of different tags that we can use to create lists. We have this UL, which stands for an unordered list. This is an unordered list. We have OL, which stands for an ordered list. So this is where I wanted to count up. I wanted to go A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, anything like that. And then I can have DL, which we'll play around with, but you guys don't really see that much on Elements. It's in modern websites now. It's usually used with doing descriptions of, like, say, words and their descriptions. So it's followed by using a couple different elements, and we'll talk about those. All right, so unordered list and ordered list are used. So let me move this up at the top. Unordered lists and ordered lists are used in exactly the same way. Okay, whenever you want to create an element inside of one of them, you are going to use a line tag. And all that is just this. Okay. And this would be I am a line item. Okay. And we can have as many of those as we want. Okay. And it will print it out, and it's going to display every line item. Now, if you do this, you're able to individually design your line items with CSS, which we'll eventually get into on how it's going to look. But if we surround it with an OL tag, it's going to be an ordered list. If we do UL tags, it's going to just be bullet statements. Okay? So, it could be if we're doing list of books or the classes that I have or any of that fun stuff, that can be set up. Now, for an ordered list, I have a couple attributes that I can use. I can use the type attribute, which I could say that I want it to be A. So it's going to start at A, B, C, D, E, and F, and it's going to be capital letters. Okay? But I could also do it where maybe I want it to be reversed, and all I have to do is, this is just a Boolean value, so it's just going to have, if it's there, it's going to do it. If it's not going to do it. So if I typed reversed, so it's like an attribute, but I'm not putting anything in it. If I type reverse, then it's going to start at the end. So this would be F, E, D, C, B, A, because that's my type. But I could do it with numbers. I could do it with lowercase letters. If I leave this off, it's going to default to numbers. If I don't want to use the reverse and I want it to go in order, I just take it off. Okay, that is basically how you would use for unordered list and ordered list. Now, the other one that I was talking about, the description. So let's go ahead and look at that one. The basic setup that you're going to have for that is like the unordered list and the ordered list, you have the main piece that's surrounding everything, and you have the line items. We are going to have multiple other pieces. We're going to have, say, the DL surrounding our term, and this could be, Redbeard DT. Okay, so that's my term, and then my description for the term would be like this. A teacher at Licking Heights. Okay, and it just displays it differently. You guys are going to end up trying all of them so you can see how you which ones you like. So they're just set up differently. Now, so this is for descriptions. This is for ordered and unordered lists. There are some other ones that we have. So what if we don't want bullet statements, or we don't want bullets, or we don't want it numbered? We can use block quote. And this will just display the item. It will still be indented a little bit, but it's not going to have a bullet statement or anything. And all you're doing is just writing it. So I could say item 1. And I can, repeat these as many times as I want. Item 1, item 2, item 3. And I can just use it that way. Okay, now the other one that you're probably going to end up using a lot is the details. Details is the one that you use if you want stuff to open up and provide the additional items. So it's going to show them. So it's not going to, you actually have to like hover over it. And once you do, or you click on it, then it's going to end up showing a drop down of a bunch more options. Okay, that's using the details. And this is the big one that you are going to want to play around with. So first you are going to start off with a summary, which is the item that you want them to see when it's not displaying everything else. So a list of books I've read. Okay, and inside the details, oops, I gotta make sure that I have it correct. Details is that you can start putting things like inside of paragraph tags, or any type of heading tag. So H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, you could put something in there. So I could say Dresden Files P, and I could put another one, and I could say Wheel of Time series. I could do another one, and I could say the Dune series. Okay. Now, each one of these will be hidden until you are clicking on the list of books I've read, and then it's going to display all those pieces. So you could have multiple articles, links, photos, anything nested inside of this details, using that summary to organize your information, but keep your website looking fairly clean. Okay, so there is a lot of different ways that we can use lists. We talked about unordered lists and ordered lists, and that you have to use line items. We talked about using block quotes for when we don't want bullets or we don't want them numbered. We talked about using for descriptions, using the DL, where we can use for terms and for descriptions, and how that would look. And then we talked about using the details and displaying stuff that are hidden but then will reveal themselves when it's clicked. So that is a lot for lists. Go ahead and play around with those.